I'm here today with a beautiful feeling of connection and hope within my heart. I was planning on doing this recording a week ago. I honestly was not finished, but I had this fervent desire to be here, to honor what I can only describe as what a warm spectrum of beautiful light feels like within your heart and soul. For these rays of light that make up this spectrum have been cast by many great lives, which I will share today. Though the first time I was driving out here, my car overheated on the interstate, and my car had to be towed. Then, just yesterday, when I was also out here, I was, surprise, surprise, lost. I can only surmise that it was the wise work of one of these dear souls that I will introduce you to today, telling me that I was not ready yet, not ready to be here until I had my piece finished, and I could then commit to fully being present while being here. The piece has now been finished, and I am truly honored to share this with you. This will be long, but I know with every part of me that every word is worth it, as I put my heart and soul into every word to honor those I would like to now introduce you to, as well as share the connections each of these people have inspired for me. This is a ray of revelation where no need needs to be petty, but Tom Petty is sometimes all we need. This is a harmony, not conspiracy theory. This is for Robert Dolph Ray, September 26th, 1928 to July 8th, 2018, the 38th governor of Iowa, from January 16th, 1969 to January 14th, 1983. For John Jack Dawson, Professor Emeritus of Economics and my neighbor growing up, August 5th, 1926 to November 22nd, 2016. For Edith Edie Dawson, teacher, wife of Jack Dawson and my neighbor growing up, September 27th, 1925 to January 2nd, 2019. For Donald Irving, Professor Emeritus of English and American Studies, and my dear father, March 11th, 1938 to August 5th, 2004. For Tom Petty, Grammy Award-winning Rock and Roll Hall of Fame musician with an iconic voice, October 20th, 1950 to October 2nd, 2017. For Kathleen Jennifer Irving, Truth Sage, and my dear sister, September 21st, 1972 to December 11th, 2017. For Uncle Gary Robert O'Neill, marketing maven and my dear uncle, January 22nd, 1947 to January 28th, 2003. For Uncle Larry Raymond O'Neill, a sharp lawyer and my dear uncle, January 29th, 1947 to September 26th, 2007. We got something. We both know it. We don't talk too much about it. Ain't no real big secret all the same. Somehow we get around it. That is from Refugee by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. That was recorded in 1979 and released on January 11th, 1980. Don't tell me of your concerns for the poor, the disenfranchised, the underprivileged, the unemployed. Show me. Don't tell me how Christian you are. Show me. Show me. That is from Governor Robert Ray. We all have something, and we all know it. And yes, we don't talk too much about it. In fact, we don't talk enough about it, and that is our humanity. While we can easily talk about the inconveniences of our lives, why can't we talk about others that are dying or in constant fear of losing their lives? We may know what a refugee is, but we may never know what it is like to be a refugee, or even know personally someone that has been a refugee themselves. Not having been a refugee, or knowing a refugee did not stop Governor Robert Ray from reaching out to help thousands of Southeast Asian, Thai Dam, and ethnic minority predominantly from China, Northwest Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand refugees in 1979. Thai Dam means black Thai. The name comes from the black clothing worn by the group of refugees and individuals, especially females. Governor Ray was the 38th governor of Iowa. My father, a man of great gentle passion and compassion himself, was born in 1938. Robert Ray's work was humanitarian, not political, for I saw how party lines were blurred in the paid opportunities my neighbors, whose political party of preference may have clashed with Governor Ray's party. I saw how they gave opportunities to Southeast Asian refugees. They caught my eye with a silent curiosity as they worked in collaboration with my neighbors in the beautification of their backyard. They did not just work in response to the directions of my neighbors. They learned from one another. The mother and father of this refugee family learned valuable skills in the work they performed as their children played in my neighbor's backyard. They acquired knowledge and experience without having to worry for the lives of their children as they freely played in my neighbor's backyard while their parents worked. This was something they both had and didn't have to talk about, for they could see one another living it, and that was peace and joy. My dear sweet neighbor Edie passed away in 2019 at the age of 93. She was a pillar of compassion and gentle, celebratory enthusiasm for even the most simple joys of your life. She lived to the age of 93. She took the road often not taken of gentle compassion, and without her, I would have not known such a road, and that, as Robert Frost has said, has made all the difference. How rare was the passion of Governor Ray, my neighbors, my father, and from what I had seen of Tom Petty as well. No, not the passion that was rare in its frequency for them, but rare in its intensity. For their passion was not blind like rage. It was tempered by the compassion of their wisdom and the rationality of their consideration for others. Yet, there was no doubt as to the depths of its sincerity, as it was not buried in words that diluted its context, while strengthened in the love of their actions that, as they epitomized, truly spoke louder than their words. Thus, compassion was not the wind in their sails, but the strength that moved their oars. The death of Tom Petty, and though I honestly did not know it until now, the birthday of Jack Dawson, are reminders to me of the importance of revisiting past events. For I remember hearing that Tom Petty had died, but don't remember experiencing the sense of shock and sadness that I had experienced when learning of the deaths of others who were of a caliber of talent and character like his. How could I have experienced such shock and sadness, though? My emotions were wrapped up in my sister, who herself was dying at the time. Thus, when the time was right, I needed to reflect on his passing in order to process it. Tom Petty, like my father, was 66 when he died. In numerology, the number 66 signifies positive energy, which encourages us to take action and move forward in life. Thus, were my father and Tom Petty encouraged to move forward to the next life? Or were we encouraged to move forward after their passing? I was not ready for the latter at the time, I know. And Jack Dawson's birthday is the same day that my father died. I was not ready for that either, I know. And when life moves forward, whether we want it to or not, may we first take one step back to ensure that no one is left behind. May we take one step back and gather the brilliant yet reluctant minds. Yes, the brilliant minds like my dear Uncle Gary Robert O'Neill, who, though he could think outside of the box, never left the compassion in his heart out of the equation. Thus, may we take a step back and ensure that those with compassion in their hearts, like Robert Dolph Ray's and Gary Robert O'Neill's, move forward with us. May we take a step back and ensure that those with sharp minds of unwavering determination, like Robert Dolph Ray's and Larry Raymond O'Neill's, are not left behind as we move forward through lands of mind-dulling technologies and the stagnating wills of our psyches. And, most importantly, but honestly recognized, I know we can all admit. Let us take a step back and ensure those, like my sister, Kathleen Jennifer Irving, are more than not left behind, but welcome forward for the sharp strength of heart and mind to be aware of everyone around them, ensuring, like Governor Ray did with the refugees he dedicated his life to helping, that no one was overlooked, and that no one is left behind.